वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। श्रमतां स्वकथा कृष्ण पुण्यश्रवणकीर्तना हृदन्तैस्तुभद्राणि विध्नोति सुरसां नष्टप्रायेष भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेव्या भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नष्टकी। Hare Krishna. Thank you all for joining today morning for the Srimad Bhagavatam discourse. So today we are going to read from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2nd, chapter number 5, text number 9 and 10. So right now I'm displaying text number 9. I'm going to recite, and then after that you can also recite. Brahmo Vacha Samyak Karunikyasedam Vatsate Vichikitsitam Yad Aham Chodita Soumya Bhagavati Virya Darshane. Brahmo Vacha Samyakarunikassedam Vatsate Vichikitsitam Yad Aham Chodita Soumya Bhagavat Virya Darshane. Brahmo Vacha Samyakarunikassedam Vatsate Vichikitsam Yad Aham Chodita Soumya Bhagavati Virya Darshane. Some of you can recite, please.
ब्रह्म उवाच सम्यक् कारुणिकास्येदं वत्सते चिकित्सितं यद् अहं चोदित सौम्य भगवद्वीर्यदर्शने। हरे कृष्ण।
हरे कृष्ण। ब्रह्मोवाच सम्यक् कारुणे कस्येदं वत्सते विचिकित्सितं यद् अहं चोदिता सौम्या भगवद्वीर्यदर्शने।
ब्रह्म उवाच सम्यक् कारुणिकस्येदं वत्सते विचिकित्सितं यदहं चोदितसौम्या भगवद्वीर्यदर्शने।
Anyone else would like?
Yeah. Samyak karunikayedam vasate vichikitsitam yaraham chodita samya bhagavad viryadarshane.
All right. So thank you. Thank you all for reciting. Let me read the synonym translation purport. Brahma Vacha. Lord Brahma said, Samyak, perfectly, Karunikasya, of you who are very kind. Idam, this, Vatsa, my dear boy, Te, your, Vichi, Kitsitam, inquisitiveness, Yat, by which, Aham, myself, Choditaha, inspired, Soumya, O gentle one, Bhagavat, or personality of Godhead, Virya, prowess, Darshani, in matter of. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Abhay Charanand Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Translation. Lord Brahma said, My dear Narad, being merciful to all, including me, you have asked all these questions because I have been inspired to see into the prowess of the Almighty Personality of Godhead. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Brahmaji, being so questioned by Naraji, congratulated him. For it is usual for the devotees to become very enthusiastic whenever they are questioned concerning the Almighty Personality of Godhead. This is a sign of a pure devotee of the Lord. Such discourses on the transcendental activities of the Lord purify the atmosphere in which such discussions are held. And the devotees thus become enlivened while answering such questions. It is purifying both for the questioners and for the answer the questions. The pure devotees are not only satisfied by knowing everything about the Lord, but also eager to broadcast the information to others. For they want to see that the glories of the Lord are known to everyone. Thus, the devotee feels satisfied when such an opportunity is offered to him. This is a basic principle of missionary activities. So, I'm going to read the next verse also. This that we're going to discuss today. 2.5.10. Nanatam tava takchapi yatha mam brabhishi bho avidhyaye paramatta etava tvam yato hi me. Synonyms: na, not; anartham, false; tava, of yours; tat, that; cha, also; api, as you have stated; yatha, in the matter of; mam, of myself; prabravishi, as you describe; bho, O my son; avigyai, without knowing; param, the supreme; mata, beyond myself; etavat, all that you have spoken; tvam, yourself; yata, for the reason of; he, certainly; me, about me; me, about me. Translation proportional part, Jashlopad. Whatever you have spoken about me is not false, because unless and until one is aware of the personality of Godhead, who is the ultimate truth beyond me, one is sure to be illusioned by observing my powerful activities. Proportional part. The frog in the well. Logic illustrates that frog residing in the atmosphere and boundary of a well cannot imagine the length and breadth of the gigantic ocean. Such a frog, when informed of gigantic length and breadth of ocean, first of all does not believe that there is such an ocean. And if someone assures him that factually there is such a thing, the frog then begins to measure it by imagination, by means of pumping its belly as far as possible, with the result that the tiny abdomen of the frog bursts and the poor frog dies without any experience of the actual ocean. Similarly, the material scientists also want to challenge the inconceivable potential of the Lord by measuring him with their frog-like brains and their scientific achievements. But at the end, they simply die unsuccessfully like the frog. Sometimes a materially powerful man is accepted as God or incarnation of God without any knowledge of the factual God. Such a material assessment may be gradually extended, and the attempt may reach to the highest limit of Brahmaji, who is the topmost living being within the universe and has a duration of unimaginable to the material scientist. As we get information from the most authentic book of knowledge, the Bhagavad Gita 8.17, Brahmaji's one day and night is calculated to be some hundreds of thousands of years on our planet. This long duration of life may not be believed by the frog in the well, but persons who have realization of the truths mentioned in Bhagavad Gita accept the existence of great personality who creates the variegatedness of the complete universe. It is understood from the revealed scriptures that the Brahmaji of this universe is younger than all other Brahmas in charge of many, many universes beyond this. But none of them can be equal to personality of Godhead. Naraji is the one of the liberated souls. After his liberation, he was known as Narad. Otherwise, Before his liberation, he was simply a son of a maidservant. The questions may be asked why Naraji was not aware of the Supreme Personality, Supreme Lord, and why he misconceived Brahmaji to be the Supreme Lord, although factually he was not. A liberated soul is never bewildered by such a mistaken idea. So why did Naraji ask all those questions just like an ordinary man with a poor fund of knowledge? There was such bewilderment in Arjuna also, although he is eternally the associate of the Lord. Such bewilderment in Arjuna or in Narada takes place by the will of the Lord so that other non-liberated persons may realize the real truth and knowledge of the Lord. The doubt arising in the mind of Narada about Brahmaji's becoming all-powerful is a lesson for frogs in the well, that they may not be bewildered in misconceiving the identity of the personality of Godhead, even by comparison to a personality like Brahma. So what to speak of ordinary men who falsely pose themselves as God or an incarnation of God? The Supreme Lord is always the Supreme. And as we have tried to establish many times in these purports, no living being, even to the standard of Brahma, can claim to be one of the Lord. One should not be misled when people worship a great man as God after his death as a matter of hero worship. There was many kings like Lord Ramachandra, king of Ayodhya, but none of them are mentioned as God in the revealed scriptures. To be a good king is not necessarily the qualification of being Lord Rama, but to be a great personality like Krishna is the qualification for being personality of Godhead. If we scrutinize the characters who took part in the battle of Kurukshetra, we may find that Maharaj Yudhishthira was no less than a pious king than Lord Ramachandra. And by character study, Maharaj Yudhishthira was a better moralist than Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna asked Maharaj Yudhishthira to lie, but Maharaj Yudhishthira protested. But that does not mean that Maharaj Yudhishthira could be equal to Lord Ramachandra or Lord Krishna. The great authorities have estimated Maharaj Yudhishthira to be a pious man, but they have accepted Lord Ram and Krishna personality of Godhead. The Lord is there for a different identity in all circumstances, and no idea of anthropomorphism can be applied to him. The Lord is always the Lord, and a common living being can never be equal to him. Om Ajnanatimirdasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Ulmitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamaham Dadati Swapadantikam Vande Ham Shri Guru Shri Utapadikam Shri Guru Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajim Shraddavaitam Savadhutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Dev Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahaganita Shri Vishakhanvitam Sha नमा ओम विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनिति नामने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचरणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तरणे नमो महावदान्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्ण कृष्ण चैतन्य नामने गुरत्तश नमः पंचतत्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्त रूप स्वरूपकं भक्तवतार भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्त शक्तिकं वाञ्छा कल्पतरुश्च कृपा सिन्धुवेव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमः हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीन बंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका राधा कांता नमस्ते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरि प्रिय जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण. So one more time, I'll read the verse. Brahmovacha samyak karunikasyedam vasate vichikitsitam yadham chodita soumya bhagavat virya darshani. So from this verse, Lord Brahma starts speaking. So we see in the previous verses, Narad Muni asked questions to Lord Brahma about the creation, about the who actually does the creation in the material of this material universe. If we see in the previous chapter, Parishit Maharaj, when his initial questions were answered by Sukadev Goswami, then he asked further questions to Sukadev Goswami about this creation. So Sukhdev Goswami then offered his prayer to the Lord, his Ishtadeva, Lord Krishna. And then he said that I'm going to describe the conversation between Narad Muni and Brahmaji. Because whatever the question you have asked, same questions were asked by Narad Muni to Brahmaji. Now, this is the Vedic tradition. When somebody comes and asks a question to a devotee or a great personality, generally in today's world, people try to answer by themselves. They generally say, okay, I think the answer is this, or I think answer is that, or whatever, right? But in a Vedic in a Vedic system, whenever somebody asks a question, and if the same question were asked by in the previously in the history by someone who is a Vedic authority, the person generally relay the conversation between those two great personalities. So now, question was asked by Parikshit Maharaj to Sukhdev Goswami. Rather than Sukhdev Goswami saying, I'll answer this question, let's hear what answer Brahmaji gave it to to Narad Muni. This is Vedic system. In a Vedic system, we do not manufacture any knowledge or any answers. We follow descending process. Means the knowledge is coming from Lord Krishna. The source of all knowledge is Lord Krishna. Tene Brahma Hardaya Adi Kaviye. In the first verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, Lord Krishna is defined. Who Lord Krishna is in the first verse. And the second verse, it is said that all the knowledge that is coming from in this material world is coming from Lord Krishna, first in the heart of Lord Brahmaji, and then Lord Brahmaji relayed that knowledge to all the living entities in this material world. So when the question was asked by Parikshit Maharaj to Sukhdev Goswami, he said, let's go and review what answer Narad Muni got it from Lord Brahma when the same questions were being asked. Because Narad Muni is a liberated soul, as Prabhupada mentioned, he is a pure devotee of the Lord. And Brahmaji also is son of God, son of the Lord. Brahmaji is the first living entity appeared in this material world. He doesn't take birth like you and me. Brahmaji is Swambhu. Swambhu means he takes birth, but he doesn't see any mother and father. He appeared on the top of the lotus coming out from the navel of Garbhodakshay Vishnu. First living entity in this material world. He is direct son of the Lord. Lord created him without the help of any woman. He created by himself. So he's the first living entity, and he was inspired in the heart by Lord Krishna with all the transcendental knowledge which revealed in this material world in the form of Vedas. So that Lord Brahma's son, Narad Muni, he asked this question. He said, my dear father, please describe factually the symptom of this manifest world. What is his background? How is it being created? How is it conserved? And under whose control all these living beings are? Because Narad Muni do not see anyone beyond Brahma. He thought that Brahma is all supreme. He thought that Brahma is all supreme. So Lord Brahma, here Srila Prabhupada always use Brahmaji actually. So we should also use Brahmaji, say like giving a respect, because Brahmaji is direct son of Lord Krishna. So when Brahmaji was asked by this question from Naradji, so Brahmaji said, no, it is not me. Because you are being illusioned. Let's look like that I am creator. Normally we see in Vedic system, people call this Trinity. Lord Brahma is the creator, Lord Vishnu is the maintainer, Lord Shiva is the destroyer. This is the common perception people have. But here Brahma is going to clear that conception that this is not the right picture. Above all three, Lord Brahma, Lord Vishnu, Lord Shiva, there is Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, who is in charge of the whole universe. Generally, we say that Lord Brahma is the creator. But Lord Brahma is going to say that I am not the actual creator. Lord Brahma, when he appeared first on the top of the lotus, he was completely ignorant. He doesn't even know that who he is. When he first appeared, he was looking, who am I? What I am doing here? Who created me? And then he couldn't find anyone there to answer his questions. He was so surprised. And everywhere is darkness. The whole world, whole thing was darkness. There was no sun, no moon. He could not see that. It was there. The whole world was created, but Brahma could not see that because he was in complete ignorance. He doesn't know even what is A, B, C, D. He doesn't know anything, but he just want to know. He has inquisitiveness. That's why it is said that Athato Brahma Jigyasaha. The first aphorism of Vedanta is Athato Brahma Jigyasa. This is the inquisitiveness every living entity have. All of us have this inquisitiveness to know who am I, why I am here, what I am doing, what is this material world, who is the creator of this material world, who is the maintainer, what's going to happen after this world is get destroyed, where we are going to go, what's going to happen after that. All these questions are basically part of that initial inquisitiveness that Brahma showed. And we also have that. Srila Prabhupada many times mentioned that we should ask this question. Otherwise, you will not be able to find the answer to all these questions. So, when Lord Brahma was looking like that, he was thinking, he was amazed, he was very, very perplexed. Who is the creator? So he tried to find it out his origin, and he saw that he's sitting on the top of the lotus. He thought like, let me go from where this lotus is coming. He went into the stem of the lotus and going down and down and down, he entered into Garbhodaka ocean and going down and down, but he could not find anything. After traveling millions of years, he was traveling, and he was going in like a dark area, completely dark area. You know, think about if you lost on a road and it's completely dark and you're going and you cannot see any board, anything, where you are going, what you just keep going the road continuously. After some point of time, we develop fear. My God, where I'm going to lose somewhere. So Brahmaji also developed a great fear. My God, there is no end to this. He got scared. He took a U-turn and came back. After traveling back, and he came back and sat on the top of the lotus. And then he thought, what should I do? Then he got inspired from the Lord that he should perform austerity. And then he sat into the meditation, and then he started performing austerity. And then at that time, Lord Krishna entered into the heart of Brahmaji and delivered the message of Vedas. Govindam Adi Purusham Tamham Bhajami. Ishvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha Anadiradir Govinda Sarvakaran Karanam. This Brahma Samhita, all this knowledge, all these Vedas came out from the mouth of Lord Brahma. Then Lord Brahma saw the world is already created. He saw all this 14 planetary system. He was in Satyaloka, and then all this like a planetary system was there, sky was there, sun was there, moon was there, everything was created. Then he said, what I'm going to do? Then Lord inspired him to create all the living entities. And while he was thinking of creating all the living entities, but he thought that this material world Lord created for the deliverance of the living entities. Lord created this material world. This is the mercy of the Lord, actually. This material world is nothing but a mercy of the Lord. And Lord created this material world for the deliverance of these conditioned souls. The souls who are suffering this material world, they are all conditioned. And to deliver all these living entities, Lord created this material world. And Brahma understood that idea. So his heart was thinking how I can deliver all these living entities. So while he was thinking like that, from the heart of Lord Brahma, from the mind of Lord Brahma, 4 sons appeared. That was basically going to come in 3rd canto. But here, when Narad Muni asked this question to Lord Brahma, that who is the creator and who is actually the source of your energy, or from where you are getting that, So when Naraji asked this question, Lord Brahma would have said, hey, don't worry, I am the everything. Nowadays, today's world, if somebody say, what is the source of your energy or from where you get all this power, he say, oh, I did it. I did it. But Brahma said, no, no, no. First of all, he became very happy actually. This is what, like in this verse, Srila Prabhupada actually like this in this verse is mentioned that any spiritual topic, whenever there is a discuss between two personalities, this is very, very inspiring. So when Naraji asked this question to Brahmaji became very happy. Very happy. He said that because Brahmaji said, you have inspired me so that I can talk about the Lord. So what does that mean? The mean is that if you get an opportunity to speak about the Lord, speak enthusiastically. It's a blessing. If somebody asks a question, and if that question is related to the Krishna, the Lord, Supreme Personality Godhead, it is very, very enlightening for both the hearer and both the speaker. So the proportion was say that Brahmaji, being so questioned by Narad Muni, congratulated him. He said, very nice, wonderful job. Generally, in material world, if somebody asks a question, they think that they are trying to challenge you, or they're questioning on your knowledge. But see, this is Vedic system is the only system where we welcome questions. We openly sit down and ask people, please ask questions, please ask questions. Rather, people hesitate to ask questions. In other tradition, if you go and ask question, they say, well, you don't believe me on me, you have no trust on me. People see like say, how come you are a doubting soul? You're doubting on my words. But in Vedic system, asking question is welcome. Rather, it is the main idea. You see, all our scriptures, Bhagavad Gita, started with questions from Arjuna, and Lord Krishna very patiently handled the questions of Arjuna very nicely. Srimad Bhagavatam is full of question and answer. 88,000 sages at the forest of Naimisharan asked question to Suta Goswami. Then we see Parishit Maharaj, along with all the sages, asked question to Sukdev Goswami. Now we see Narad Muni asking question to Brahmaji. Later we are going to see Vidura asking question to Maitreya Muni. Then we see Yudhishthira asking question to Narad Muni. This is all basically like a system. So Brahmaji became very, very happy and he congratulated him for, that's why the reason Prabhupada says, for it is usual for devotee to become very enthusiastic. So we should welcome questions. We should welcome question. It's not that if we say any question and people ask questions, say, why you are asking question? That's not the way. A devotee should be very enthusiastic to answer any question from anyone regarding Lord Krishna. If somebody asks question about what is happening in today's politics, no, we are not going to answer that. Politics is not our subject. Our subject is Krishna. So whenever they are concerned, whenever they are question concerning Almighty Personality of Godhead, whenever they ask question about Krishna, we should be able to answer. That is a sign of a pure devotee of the Lord. And such discourses on the transcendental activity of Lord purify the atmosphere in which such discussions are held, and devotees thus become enlivened while answering such question. This is a benefit. If somebody asks a question and a devotee answers the question, then both the hearer, both the speaker, and the people who are listeners, who are all the people sitting there, and the whole environment become purified. Because the topics related to Krishna are the best topic to purify our existence. So here Prabhupada mentioned it is purifying both for the questioners and one who answers the question. So both are benefited. Generally, people think that, well, if I'll ask a question, that only person who is answering question is getting benefited. It is not the way. In the same context, when Parishit Maharaj asked question to Sukdev Goswami, so people can think, well, Parishit is asking question So Sukhdev Goswami is more knowledgeable. So Sukhdev Goswami getting more benefit than Parikshit? No. You see at the end of Srimad Bhagavatam, Sukhdev, before Sukhdev Goswami left this mortal world, Parikshit actually left and went back home, back to Godhead. The person who is hearing get delivered first. So it's like, so this idea is that it's not that person who is speaking is more beneficiary, but person who is hearing also getting same benefit. They're on the same platform. So hearing is also very powerful. People think that, oh, well, until I won't speak, what is the benefit? I'm not getting benefit. That is not the understanding here. In a Vedic system, first process is hearing. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam Atma Nivedanam. The first thing is hearing. So it is purifying both for the questioners and for person who answer the question. The pure devotees are not only satisfied by knowing everything about the Lord, because pure devotees, they want to know about the Lord. But second thing is that Prabhupada says that they are also eager to broadcast the information to others. This is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement. That's why Srila Prabhupada came to the Western world on the order of his spiritual master, Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, that to broadcast the message of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarane. Namaste Saraswate Devi. He is a follower, he's a disciple of Srila Bhakti Saraswati Thakur, and he came to preach the message of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Gauravani Pracharane. So Srila Prabhupada especially came at the age of 69 to the Western world to broadcast this information to others. There was no requirement. Personally, Srila Prabhupada was very satisfied. See, who can think of at the age of 70, at that retirement age, to leave his comforts in the Vrindavan Dham, where everything was there, and he was like a pure devotee. He was doing his bhakti very nicely. The best place to do bhakti is Vrindavan, and he was there. So what is the need for him to actually come out from that place to come to this sinful place in the Western world, Paschatya Desh? But this is the compassion of a pure devotee. This is the mercy of the pure devotees, that they want to broadcast this message to others. For they want to see, like next Prabhupada says, for they want to see the glories of the Lord are known to everyone. This is the desire of the devotees, that this message of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, this mantra, Hare Krishna Mahamantra, goes to every town and village. This is the desire of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is the order of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that all devotees who are follower of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu should broadcast this message to every town and village. Thus, the devotees feel satisfied when such an opportunity is offered to him. They welcome this opportunity and then they go for that. So this is the basic principle of missionary activities, which ISKCON devotees take care. They go outside for Harinam, they go outside for book distribution, they go outside for Prasadam distribution. This is all basically because this is the order of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and to please Lord Krishna, all the devotees does that. In the next verse, Brahmaji says that, whatever you have spoken about me is not false. Because, why it's not false? Because it is because of illusion. Say, because unless and until one is aware of personality of Godhead, if you are not aware that there is a Supreme Lord who is a creator of me also, then you will definitely see me only, right? Like one time, Srila Prabhupada mentioned this story that here in United States, in a family, the father and mother, they have a small child. So when the child took birth, at that time, the father and mother, the father used to work long distance, very far distance from the house. So he used to travel like 2-3 hours going to the office and then coming back in the evening 2-3 hours. So when the child was very, very small, newborn baby, so he used to travel, the father used to travel and he used to go and then come back in the night. So early morning he used to leave the house and when the late night he used to come back. So a child never saw his father because he used to sleep in the night. And while the time child used to wake up, he never saw the father. So it was going on for few years. When the child little grown up, at that time, what happened one day, it was a Sunday, and then the father was at house only. And the child woke up and he saw there's a man sleeping in the house. And he came to his mother and he say, Mother, mother, I saw a man sleeping in our house. Who is that? Then mother said, he's your father. Then the son says, what is the meaning of father? Who is this father means? What is the father means? Then mother explained that this is your father, he is your creator. He actually gave you birth. So at that time, Prabhupada say that because we are living this material world, we never saw Krishna. So we think that this material world give us the birth and all this kind of thing. So that's why Lord Brahma is saying that because you don't know about the Lord, you are not aware of the Lord. That's why you think that I am your creator. So there's no problem at you actually, because you are illusion. You are in illusion. You are in Maya. You didn't know about that. So whatever you have spoken about me is not false. Because unless and until one is aware of the personality of Godhead, who is the ultimate truth beyond me, absolute truth. The first was Janmadi Yata Anvayat Charteshwa Bhigya Swarat. So until people don't know that Lord Krishna is a supreme creator, people will falsely claim, okay, Lord Brahma is the creator, Lord Vishnu is a maintainer, Lord Shiva is a destroyer. And then they also see other people, because many people don't even see Lord Brahma. So they think that this material world is a creator, or mother, father is giving birth, all those kind of things, right? So one is sure to be illusioned by observing my powerful activities. So in the purport, Srila Prabhupada give example of this frog in the well. This is very common, very famous example Srila Prabhupada gave, that God is great. People say that God is great. Everybody say God is great, but we don't know how great God is. So generally, like this example is that a frog one time, like living in a well, a small well, along with the other frogs, right? So then one of the frog went out from the well and he went to the Atlantic Ocean. And he saw the Atlantic Ocean, the vast ocean with full of water. And when he saw that, he got so amazed. Then he came back to the well and he told, there was a Dr. Frog there in that well. And he told that there is another big amount of water ocean, which is called Atlantic Ocean, that has immense water. Then that frog said, how big is that? Is that this big? He said, no, it's bigger than that. Is that this big? No, it's bigger than that. Oh, it's this big. But he said, no, it's bigger than that. So he was keep going. Ultimately, that frog bursted and it dies. That's what Prabhupada say that, that here we'll see. The frog in the well, logic illustrate that frog residing in the atmosphere and boundary of well cannot imagine length and breadth of gigantic ocean. Such a frog, when informed the gigantic length and breadth of ocean, first of all, he does not believe that there is such an ocean. This is the first thing. If somebody say that this is the biggest ocean, nobody will believe it. But if someone assures him that factually there is such a thing, the frog then begin to measure it by imagining, by means of pumping its belly as far as possible. With the result is that the tiny abdomen of the frog burst and poor frog died without any experience of actual ocean. And Srila Prabhupada compares this analogy of frog with today's scientists. He's saying similarly, these material scientists also want to challenge inconceivable potency of the Lord by measuring him. Science is in today's world trying to deny God. They're trying to see that we can actually measure God or we can go beyond that. With their frog-like brains, their scientific achievement. But at the end, they simply die unsuccessful like the frog. There are many scientists which were there in the past, which are currently now and going to come in the future. But it is very difficult for them to understand the creation by the Lord, which is which is you know not measurable by their material brains. So here Prabhupada says, similarly, sometimes a materially powerful man is accepted as God or incarnation of God without any knowledge of actual God. Sometimes some person comes and shows magic, some kind of yoga siddhis, some magic, some kind of, he can fly in the air or he can bring something here from there, those kind of things. And people start thinking that he's God for small thing, you know. But is that really God? They think they are taking God as very cheap. They really don't understand how big God is. Such an material assessment may be gradually extended and the attempt may reach to the highest limit of Brahmaji. So people can go till little bit more further until Brahmaji, who is the topmost living entity within the universe and has duration of unimaginable material scientist. Lord Brahma, in the Bhagavad Gita, it is mentioned that Lord Brahma lives for 100 years of his own years. And is 1 year of Lord Brahma, 1 day of Lord Brahma is equal to, like we can say right now we are in the age of Kali Yuga. So Kali Yuga is like 432,000 solar years on that planet. And then before that Kali Yuga, there was a Dwapar Yuga. Dwapar Yuga was double of Kali Yuga. Means 8 lakh, like 864,000 years. And then before that Treta Yuga, which is 3 times of Kali Yuga. And before that it was Satyuga, which is 4 times of Kali Yuga. So we can say that these 4 combined together, when it goes for 1,000 times, it's become 1 day of Brahma. And that's why 1 day of Brahma, and then we have 365 days in 1 year, and then Lord Brahma's age is 100 years. So here it's mentioned that in Bhagavad Gita 8:17, Brahmaji's 1 day and night is calculated with some hundreds of thousands of years on our planets. This long duration of life may not be believed by the frog in the well, but persons who have realization of truth mentioned in Bhagavad Gita accept existence of great personality who create the variegatedness of the complete universe. This information about Lord Brahma's age about the world is available to us through Bhagavad Gita. If we try to calculate this information through our material knowledge, we can't, because science is not that developed till now, and really they cannot reach that point. So, but people who have trust on Bhagavad Gita, people who have complete faith on Bhagavad Gita, we can understand this knowledge very easily. So it is understood from the revealed scripture that Brahmaji of this universe is younger than all the Brahmas in charge of the many universes beyond him, but none of them can be equal to personality of Godhead. So there was one time, there was an event that Lord Brahma actually came to meet Krishna when Krishna was in Dwarka. So Lord Brahma of this universe is four-headed. Lord Brahma has 4 heads. So that Lord Brahma came to Dwarka and he wanted to see Lord Krishna. So he came to the palace of the Lord, and he said to the doorkeeper that go and tell that Brahma is here. So then he went inside and say like to Lord Krishna that Brahma came to meet him. Then Lord Krishna say, ask him which Brahma you are. Brahmaji was very much puffed up that I am the only Brahma and I am so powerful. So he came there. And so then doorkeeper came back and he asked Lord Brahma, which Brahma you are? Then he said, what? I'm the only Brahma. What are you talking about? I'm the only Brahma. I'm the most powerful. I'm the first living entity. Go and tell I'm the Brahma. So then he came back and said that he said I'm the only Brahma. Then Lord said, oh, how much head he has? Like he has a 4 head. Okay, bring him. So when he came to the Lord Krishna and then he was talking, then he came to Lord Krishna and he said that your doorkeeper was saying that which Brahma? I didn't understand. What is that? What does that mean? Then Krishna says, oh, you are the only, you think that you are the only Brahma? There are many more Brahmas like you and they are more powerful than you. Then Brahma was surprised. Is it really? And okay, don't worry, I'll show you. Just sit there. Then the Lord Krishna called all the Brahmas from all the millions of universes. All the Brahmas came. Somebody came with 1,000 head, 100 head, 10,000 head, 20 head, like that. So many Brahmas came, and this Brahma was tiny one. Oh my God. He's saying, what? I am nothing in front of these Brahmas. What is this? So this is what here Prabhupada says, that this Brahma of this universe is younger than all the Brahmas. This is the most tiny Brahma we have, like four-headed. Other Brahmas were 1,000, 100, like so much. And they were bigger, powerful Brahmas. And this Brahma came to realize, oh my God, who I am now. This is what. Then he really, Lord is unlimited. It's very difficult to understand Lord's power. So that's what Brahma says here. From Narad Muni perspective, Narad Muni is one of the liberated souls. And after his liberation, he was known as Narada. So this is Srila Prabhupada giving a little bit history that how Narada became Narada. Is going to come, like I think we already discussed in the last canto, that how Narada Muni was a son of a maid servant in his previous life. And he became Narada Muni by performing devotional service to the Lord. And then similarly, as Narada Muni got bewildered, Arjuna also got bewildered. There was such bewilderment in Arjuna also, although he is eternally associated of the Lord. So why, the question come, Srila Prabhupada raising this question, why Narada Muni and like Arjuna were a pure devotee of the Lord? How they get bewildered? What is the point here? Right? And even Parishit Maharaj. See, Parishit Maharaj, he saw Krishna in the womb of his mother. When he was in the womb of his mother, he was protected by Lord Krishna, because Krishna personally entered into the womb of Uttara to protect Parishit from Brahmastra. So, but here Prabhupada answers this, such bewilderment in Arjuna and Narada takes place by the will of the Lord. This point we need to understand that Arjuna got bewildered in the battlefield of Kurukshetra, not because he is ignorant, but this is the will of the Lord to deliver the message of Bhagavad Gita for the people of Kali Yuga, for people of this age. People think that Bhagavad Gita is for Arjuna. It was spoken to Arjuna at the battlefield of Kurukshetra so that he can fight the Mahabharata war. It's not. The real purpose, the real target audience is today's people. The Bhagavad Gita is the scripture of this age. So that's the point here, that Lord Krishna purposely bewildered Arjuna so that he can deliver the message of Bhagavad Gita for the people who are going to come in the future in the age of Kali Yuga, especially for all of us. So that's why Prabhupada says that, so that other non-liberated person may realize the truth and knowledge of the Lord. This doubt arising in Narada about Brahmaji's becoming all-powerful is a lesson for frogs in the well, that they may not be bewildered in misconceiving the identity of personality of Godhead. So this question that Narada Muni asking to Lord Brahma to basically clear this idea that the people who think that they know everything, but Brahmaji is going to speak that about Lord Krishna so that they can understand the real truth, that who is the real Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Supreme Lord is always the Supreme, as we have tried to establish many times in this purport. No living being, even up to standard of Brahma, can claim to be one of the Lord. One should not be misled when people worship a great man as a god after his death as a matter of hero worship. Now, in the last section of this purport, Srila Prabhupada explains that many people who are very great personalities, who have done great wonders in the material world here, sometimes we praise them or we consider them as a god. But Prabhupada says that no, God is God. Some person can be a great man. He might have achieved great achievement in the material world, but he cannot be a god. No one can become God. No one. No living entity can ever become God. God is God. Living entities are living entities. Living entity can be become as great as Brahma, but they cannot become equal to God. So this example Srila Prabhupada mentioned here, that Lord Ramachandra. People think that Lord Ramachandra is great personality. He's not Lord. And they compare that, oh Lord, see this Yudhishthira, he was a great king. He might be more better king than Lord Ramachandra. But that's not the idea. The idea is that Lord is Lord. So Lord Ramachandra and Lord Krishna is a supreme personality of God. And even though they come on this material world and perform human-like activities, but they are Lord. But other living entity, they can perform the activity. They might be looking like a great personality, but they cannot become God. So we should not be misled by seeing that any living entity can become God. God is God. Krishna is Krishna, and no other living entity can take place of Krishna. So we should not accept any human being or any other powerful living entity as the God. This is the what Prabhupada actually mentioned in the last section of the purport. So time is going now, so I'll stop here and see if anyone have any question or any comment on our today's discussion. So the idea is that we should not accept God like very easily until unless we really we hear from the pure devotees of the Lord that who God is, and by understanding that, we should actually surrender to the Supreme Personality of God and not to any person who shows magic or who is like a powerful living entity on this material world. That's the idea. All right, Hare Krishna.
Prabhu, thank you so much for a wonderful class. I was really, there was something you said earlier about asking questions, and that in the Vedic tradition, it's the one tradition that encourages asking questions, which I love, and that's actually one of the things I noticed when I came to this path myself. And are there recommendations on how we should ask questions? I mean, are there guidelines or suggestions on ways how we should ask questions when we are asking a question in this sense?
Yes, very nice. So you've asked very nice question about the questions. So I congratulate you because in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that tad vidhi panipatena pariprashnena seviya updekshanti te jnanam jnana tattvadarshina. So when we ask question, we should ask question. First of all, the question should be like for the benefit of yourself or all living entity. We should ask question in a such a way that it should be in a humble way. Tad vidhi panipatena. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that when we ask a question to pure devotees, we should basically surrender them, we should serve them, and then we should ask the question from them, and then they will give us the transcendental knowledge. And those questions should be related to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As I said that the topic, when the question should be asked, it should be related to either your devotional service or somebody else devotional service. But means any topic which is related to Krishna. And if we talk about questions, maybe like probably many people ask questions that, well, how do I manage my work style? How do I manage my this thing or that thing? Which is good. It's a personal question, but personal questions are basically welcomed in a personal discussion. But when we are sitting in an assembly, the question should be general question for which applies to everyone. And that question should be somehow or other related to Krishna, some pastime of Krishna, or maybe that person can ask a question, and then a speaker should actually give an example from Vedic system and Vedic books, and then he can relate that to Krishna. So any question that we ask should be asked in a very humble way, not in a challenging way, to test knowledge of or to challenge that person who is basically answering the question, and accept it in the same fashion. So that sometimes what happens is a person asks a question and the speaker might not be able to answer the question to their satisfaction. So that person has to take that, well, I take this answer and let me contemplate on that. And the answer might be revealed later. All questions cannot be answered immediately, because the person who is asking question and the answer which is coming might not be on the same platform. So it might take some time to understand, reveal that answer in your heart. Even for me, I personally say that since I came to this Krishna consciousness, I had many questions. And initially when I asked questions, so I got answer, but I couldn't understand. But now I remember those answers. Now it makes sense to me. Okay, that answer was really correct. Because at that time, we were not really, I was not at that platform to understand those answers. So we have to be open-hearted, and welcome questions and welcome answers, both the things. And especially in a very humble and not challenging way. And related to Krishna, as I said.
Thank you very much, Prabhu. That was wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. So we have hand raised from Sunil Prabhu. Please unmute yourself.
Namaskar, Prabhu Ramcharan Dasji.
Hare Krishna.
I am new to this. Last few weeks I have been attending on and off.
Sure.
I have two, I will not say a question, but I have two curiosity. And I'm able to ask that because you have covered this in today's session, that asking questions will make good for everybody. So my first clarification is, what should be the purpose of our life? We have been talking more intellectually, but in general, as a human life, what should be our purpose and goal? And the second thing is, what I should be doing every day from this pravachan to achieve that goal of my life in practicality.
Yeah. So the Vedas explains, as I say, the Vedas explain, once you take the form of a human life, we on this material world there are many living entities. Vedas explains that we have 8,400,000 species of different types of bodies available, like human beings, animals, aquatics, birds, reptiles, plants, trees. So many varieties are there. So there are overall 8,400,000 species of lives available on this universe, in this universe. So out of that, human life is considered the most valuable. Why it's considered valuable? Because in this human form of life, we can solve the problems of the life. Problems of the life mainly, namely Bhagavad Gita actually explained that Janam Mrityu Jara Vyadhi Dukha Doshanu Darshanam. There are four major problems that every living entity, including not even human life, but other living entities like plants, reptiles, everyone goes through, which is birth. First, we take birth. Then in the after that, we basically have some disease in our body. Sometime, many people go through diseases and then go to the old age and then we die. So birth, old age, disease, and death. These are the major problems that we go through. Many people do not accept that as a problem. In human form of life, we generally celebrate birthday. We think that having birth is like a great achievement that we have done. But if you really see, when a living entity takes birth, a human life takes birth here, initial phase he might not have much problems, but as he progress, he will encounter many problems in his life. Family problem, financial problems, social problems, career problems, money problems, so many problems comes. Everybody have a different problem. Not is not the same pattern that we have to follow, but every people goes through different problems. Then the major problem is disease. Everyone got some kind of disease. No body is immune to disease, even though scientists trying to find it out the solution of diseases, but the disease is there. So human body got many variety of diseases. That's why we have many different department of medicine and doctors available. So this disease is a problem, because it actually like hurt your sense gratification. You can really cannot enjoy once you become sick because of some disease, right? People go so many painful experiences. And then ultimately, if even if somebody say that, oh, I am not going to have any disease, the old age itself is a big disease. When a person becomes old, you can go and check with old people. They have so many unnecessary problems which they go through, so much pain they are going. They really can't walk, they can talk, they cannot hear, they cannot eat properly, they cannot sleep properly. They have so old age itself is a big problem. And then finally death. So Bhagavad Gita actually says to all of us, recognize these four problems as the major problem of our life. And then we, as a human life, should do the solution to these problems. In human form of life, we have this opportunity so that we can solve these problems of the life. And that is a basic purpose of human life, to find a solution to these problems. That's why the Vedic system says the first aphorism, which is basically mentioned in Vedanta Sutra, is Athato Brahma Jigyasa. Everybody should try to inquire, who am I, first of all? Who am I means right now, if you ask me like, who am I? Then I'm going to say, my name is Ramcharan Das, so and so. I live in Philadelphia. My father name is this, my mother name is this, my wife name is this, my children name is this. I belong to this country and this like that. But if you see this is actually identity. This is the labels given to my body, labels given to my body. So once I leave this body, all these identification will finished, right? So we need to understand that who we really are. Are we really the body? Because tomorrow I can change the name, tomorrow I can change my country, tomorrow I can change this and that. These things can change. And also, like, we can change, like, we can change spouse, we can change, we can take other children. So these relationships are temporary based on the body, but we need to try to understand that who we are. And that's the first basic thing which Lord Krishna speak mentioned to Arjuna. When Arjuna was got bewildered, Lord Krishna told that, Arjuna, you are misidentifying yourself. You are misidentifying yourself, thinking that you are the body. So, but in reality, we are not the body, because we are spirit soul. And that's what the first basic knowledge we try to understand in a human form of life. This is a very famous verse. It says that ahar nidra bhay maithunam cha samanam etat pashubi naram dharmai tesham adhiko vishesho dharme hina pashubi samana. There are four common activity between human and animal, like eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. Eating means common activity between animals and us. Similarly, mating, like we procreate, animal also procreate. Sleeping, we sleep, animal also sleep. And defending system, like we animals also defending system, we also defending system, different ways. I'll not go in detail. I'm just giving you very high-fi, means high level understanding. So, but what is the difference between human form of life and animal form of life? The difference is dharma, the prescribed duties. In a human form of life, we have a sense of duty, what is right, what is wrong. So what is right, what is wrong, that we need to understand. In an animal form of life, we can't do that. We really cannot teach a dog or a cat or a lion or a deer that you should do this, you should not do that. But this basic understanding of what is right, what is wrong, what should be done, what should not be done, is basically given in a human form of life. Like when we go to office, what is our duty, what is our roles and responsibility is defined to us. If we do not do the duty, the roles and responsibility which is given to us by our manager, then we are get laid off. Nobody will basically keep us in the job. They will keep, even though we might be doing other job very nicely, but we have to do our roles and responsibility. Similarly, we have our roles and responsibility in this material world. We need to find it out there, and that is given in Vedas. What is the purpose of human life is to inquire, first of all, who you are and who is the God. So Bhagavad Gita gives 5 subject matters. Ishvara, who is the controller, who is the God. Jiva, who are the living entities. What is his material nature is, this material world where we are living in. What is the Kala, what is the time going on, and what is the Karma, what is the activity we are going on. So if we understand these 5 subject matters, we really understand purpose of life. The Bhagavad Gita actually gives this answer very nicely, that what is our position is, who we are, who God is, what is our relationship with the God, and what we have to do. So your first question is, what is the purpose of human life is to inquire about yourself, about the God, about our relationship with the God, and what should we do. So that is means how we can like make our life successful, like by serving the Lord, because we are part and parcel of the Lord. And in your second question is that how we get from these discussions, because these discussions will basically feed your inquisitiveness, and actually, and also this discussion will reveal inside your heart the answer to those questions, that who you are. And ultimately it will give us a direction that what should I do to come out from this cycle of birth and death. Because as I say, this janam mrityu jara vyadi, birth, old age, disease, and death is the problems of life. This is called sansar chakra. And this human form of life is like the more important life, where we can actually come out. Like say, suppose if you are going like in a Ferris wheel, like which is a circle going up and down, up and down, up and down. And if you want to come out, then then this is the human form of life which can actually take you out. All right, so thank you all. Any other questions, comments anyone have?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
I like this class Prabhu so much. Thank you so much for everything you explained about the universe thing. I like it so much. Like you explain about the Brahma, that our Brahma have 4 heads, and other Brahma has more than that, like 1,000 heads, and their creation is better also, I think.
All
Yeah.
right.
So I like this part. Thank you so much, Prabhu.
Okay. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you. Thank you very much, Prabhu, for the nice class. And then today I learned a lot of things. These 3 points lastly you said.
Mhm.
So, what is the purpose of my life? And then how we get from this, from this one. And then I know this is Dukhalayam. We all know that this is Dukhalayam, but still we would love to live here. I
Mhm.
don't want to die. Oh God, I'm dying. No. Like that we feel humans,
Mhm.
But at one point we have to think the need to get out of this one. But for that we had to work, like knowing God and doing that devotional services and chanting to come out peacefully. That's what I just thought. Thank you very much, Prabhu.
Okay, thank you, Mataji. Thank you very much. Anyone else have any other comment or question before we end our today's discussion? All right. So thank you all for joining today morning. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful Krishna conscious day. Hare Krishna, everyone.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Vacha kalpatarubhascha kripa sindhuvevacha patitana pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, श्रीपाद की जय।
Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you.
Thank you, Prabhu.